Last summer, I was at the pool, our community pool, and there was a group of preteens, maybe upper elementary. I couldn't really tell. I've kind of lost track of how old kids are nowadays. And they were pushing each other, standing outside the pool, pushing each other, shoving each other in the water. And this was happening over a period of probably 10 or 15 different minutes. At one point, I think a kid slipped, fell in. Lifeguards didn't blow their whistle, didn't do anything. Parents, completely MIA. They might not have even been there. And nobody was saying anything. And so finally, I'd had enough. This was happening right in front of me, and I knew somebody was really going to get hurt. So I was the mean pool lady and told the kids to stop. They needed to disband, find another game, something, because this was extremely dangerous. And they all glared at me, of course. But I couldn't have sat there if something had really happened and somebody had gotten hurt, and I was just an innocent bystander just watching all of the antics go on and didn't say anything. So I did. And that's what we're talking about today is pool etiquette. But even more than that, it's not just pool etiquette. It really ventures over into a safety factor. So here's some pretty scary statistics about pools and swimming and things. So drowning is the number one cause of death for kids ages 1 through 4. And over 4,500 people drown per year in the US,
It's a
which
lot.
is, yeah,
It's a huge
horrifying.
number.
On average, it's 10 people every day in the US, with two of those 10 are children 14 or under. From 22 to 24, 2022 to 2024, an average of 6,300 children under 15 were treated in ERs for just from non-fatal drowning. So, I mean, there's a lot of bad things happening out there in pools. And Kara, I thought this was interesting. So there's this, I thought I knew how to swim test.
Oh,
So
okay. That sounds interesting.
yeah. So 80% of adults claim they can swim, and I'd be in that number. I'd say, okay, yeah,
Oh,
I can
sure.
swim.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 44% admit that they would fail a basic swim test.
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
So this is the basic swim test.
Okay.
Could you float or tread water for an entire minute?
Okay. I think I could do that.
I could probably float. I don't know if I could tread water, but I could float for an entire minute.
Yeah.
Jump into deep water and come back up to the surface.
Well, it
I can
depends
do
on how
that.
deep, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
going deep crazy, but
I mean, it doesn't matter how deep it is because if you jump in, you're only going as low as your body takes you. It doesn't matter if the
that's
water's
true. That's true.
12
Yeah.
feet deep or 200.
Yeah.
Spin around in the water and find an exit.
I think we could, hopefully
I,
we can all do that.
yeah, I could probably do that. This is the one that got me. Get out of a pool without the ladder.
Oh no.
I don't know if I can
Um,
do that.
I think we
Uh,
might have crossed that line to where we can't do that maybe a few years ago. But
yeah,
yeah,
I
I used
know.
to delight in be able doing that, and I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
ugh, let's
Maybe
not
with
try
my
that.
arm.
But
Yeah, I know. I need to try that too when nobody else at the pool is looking at me.
exactly, yeah.
So I don't know how I'll accomplish that.
Hmm.
And then the fifth thing is swim one pool length without stopping.
Okay.
I think I could probably do that.
Yeah, I mean, between the side stroke and the breaststroke, I mean,
Yeah.
freestyle, I never figured that out.
No, I would totally do the breaststroke. That's exactly what I do every
Yeah,
time. So
yeah.
anyway, pool etiquette, pool safety, big topic. Summer is here. People are out and about at lakes, pools,
Hmm.
all kind of stuff. So very important topic. Another crazy stat was, let's see if I can find this. Oh, there's 10,000 deaths a year from jumping off of pool ladders. So, you're
That's,
climbing in or climbing out and you try to jump off of that metal ladder and you slip and your foot gets stuck.
oh, yeah, I have a fear of that.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah.
so that fear is relevant. Ooh,
Yes, extremely.
big
So,
water trip. Yeah. Stuck.
kids need to be taught from a very young age how to get in and out of the pool properly. Like turn around backwards and go
Hmm.
down into the pool backwards, like you're going up and down a real ladder.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people teach that or know that, or if we just take it for granted that kids are going to just learn by
I don't
osmosis. I
know.
don't know.
I don't know.
But I know you've seen all kind of horrid pool behavior. So what are some of your pet peeves for summertime
Okay, well, considering I was a
pool?
lifeguard in high school, which was, I would say, a very fun job. So, any teens out there who can swim, I think that's a really great job, and you get a good tan. Always use sunscreen though. But just mainly the one issue is parents not parenting their children.
Yeah.
I've even, we've lived several places and had several community pools, and I remember sitting in the baby pool, the pool that's like maybe this deep, not very deep, and a mom is just sitting there talking to a friend, and I'm watching my kid, and all of a sudden her kid goes under. So I have to reach down and pull the kid out of the water and like kind of like, hello, your child just nearly drowned right in front of us in the kiddie pool.
Did
And
she even notice?
I think eventually, but like she was like 2 feet away. I'm like, how can you not see your child just went under?
Oh,
So there's been several times over the years I've had to just go in and grab a kid or something. Um, just get off your phone. You can talk to your friend, but keep your eyes on your children.
mhm.
Luckily my kids are very tall, and they were very tall at a young age. So one, they didn't really learn to swim too much. I mean, not to say too much, but as much as I would have liked, because they were so tall, they just stood up. So in the middle of swim lessons, I'm like, well, you got to swim. You can't just stand. But until you know that your kids can stand up in the water by themselves, not in the deep, obviously, but at least about half the pool length, you should keep your eyeballs on your kids at all time. Don't just assume a lifeguard's watching. Most community pools, there's not a lifeguard. Like, we don't have any in our neighborhood. We never have. And just, put your phone down, keep your eyes on your kids, and don't expect everybody else to parent your children. And if you're not doing what you need to do, we will call you out on it. We might say something.
Yeah, like I did.
Yeah,
So what?
exactly. And I've wanted to
Yeah,
do that so many times, but
I
sometimes,
know.
especially with teenagers and preteens, it can get rowdy, and it's
Yeah.
unsafe very fast.
So what age do you think, and I have my own personal opinion on this, um, is old enough for a child to swim? Like at my community pool, kids 11 and up can come without a parent. Now there are lifeguards on duty, so it's not like a completely unsupervised pool. But to
Um,
me, I think that's even a bit young. I would
yeah,
say
I would
probably
say,
13 and up. But
yeah, my vote would be 14. Like, if you're high school age,
mm,
you're physically mature enough, unless there's just a really, really short person at that age or short kid.
mhm.
But 11 is way too young, way, way too young. And no, they're still very young and immature. Not that a 14-year-old is mature by any means, but there's a lot of difference in those 3 years.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, we've talked about kids, and I think a theme that runs through every single one of our podcasts can be parents not parenting their children. And that's in all circumstances, whether you're at the grocery store or at the pool like this. I mean, obviously, some have more dire consequences than others. I don't think anybody's going to get hurt or injured so badly at the grocery store if you're letting your kid act up. But that's definitely something that we've seen all over the place. But what about adults? What kind of bad behavior have you seen or do you continue to see at the pools from adults? Because we're guilty of doing inappropriate and not just inappropriate, but just inconsiderate, I guess, inconsiderate things at the pool.
Okay. Okay, number one, it bothers me, especially in our neighborhood pool. There's kind of like music going around, background music, which is,
Hmm.
kind of boring, but it just keeps you from hearing the traffic go by. But
Hmm.
blasting their music and their radio in a public space.
Oh, agreed,
That's
agreed,
another
agreed.
reason why
Yes.
I can't go to the beach, because I don't want to hear other people's music. I'll say I'm very particular about that. But that's one thing. Loud conversations, just getting rowdy. If you want to get rowdy
Yeah.
like that, rent out the pool, find a friend with the pool, especially down here. I mean, every third house has a pool. We don't, so our options are go to a friend's house or go to the neighborhood pool.
Hmm.
Um, and just total disrespect. There was one instance I was at a neighboring resort not too long ago, and there was parents and their two daughters who were 10 to 13 age, and there's a lot of wildlife that comes around, and there were a couple little ducks swimming in the pool,
Mm.
and I saw the parents watch the daughters get close to them, and I'm thinking, that's not how this works. That's not how we do this. And the ducks kind of swam away and flew away. And I thought the parents were going to be like, don't touch the ducks, leave the wildlife alone. Didn't say a word, watched them the entire time, no comments whatsoever. And of course, I'm glaring at them through my sunglasses, just thinking, what are you doing? That's leave them alone. And a few minutes later, swimming again, and they come back in the pool, and the oldest one goes and chases the ducks to the other side of the pool with the parents still watching. And I'm thinking, I'm just blown away. And finally, the lifeguard screams at the child, don't touch the wildlife, leave the wildlife alone. So she turns around and goes back, and the parents never, I was watching them, and the parents never said, oh, maybe you should listen to the lifeguard, or maybe that wasn't the best thing to do. Didn't acknowledge it whatsoever. I mean, that's
That's
just one
terrible.
small example of just parents just not caring about others, whether it's another person, the
Yeah, it doesn't
neighborhood
even have to be a
dog.
human being. Yeah.
No, I was just appalled. I just couldn't believe it.
Mm.
And one
I
other thing
know.
that really
Oh, go
gets
ahead.
me real quick is children in hot tubs. When parents let children get in hot tubs. There's rules, little kids, people with heart problems, pregnant women are not supposed to get in the hot tubs. It's just too hot for their little bodies. And some parents think it must be the baby pool, and it's just sorry, that's my little tangent. Um,
Yeah.
but it frustrates me.
Oh, well, one of the things that drives me nuts at a pool that adults do is they spread towels all over every chair
Oh, yes.
that they have no intention of sitting in. They
Yes,
may reserve four chairs for their children or preteens or whoever that are never going to come and sit or lay in those chairs.
exactly.
So you go to the pool and there's only a human in every three or four chairs, but yet every single one is taken
Hmm.
because there's somebody else's stuff there that is never coming back. So
Right.
you could have.
Especially if you see them in the pool, and I understand, like we went to the water park, you see, because you're not going to sit at the chairs all day long. You're going to at least go do something. But if you sit next to 8 chairs and you never see anybody, you're like,
Yeah,
come
does
on,
a
man.
family of eight need eight chairs, or you're all eight going to sit down at the same time? Probably
No,
not.
no. I would say like a factor of two, divided by a factor of two. For
Yeah,
family of four, we always get two. Our kids are not going to sit there anyway, and if they can, we'll scoot over, let them sit there while they take a drink, put on sunscreen, and then they go back into the water or hang out
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. This isn't an issue at our pool, but I know of other pools. Probably yours could be one of them. What about alcohol at the pool? How do you see that crossing a line?
Sometimes, honestly, I don't go to our pool during the weekends or on a holiday like July 4th. I'm not going to our pool. I'd much rather just stay in my house or go to a friend's house. So, Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm not really not gonna have to worry about it. Um, but
You mean
yeah,
there's not people up there just boozing it up at the community pool on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock? What are you talking about?
well, at least not that I know of. You never know what's in that Yeti.
That's very true.
Yeah,
Yeah, those Stanleys hold a lot of Mama juice. So,
that's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah,
uh-huh.
mommy's little juice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, No, I mean that's really kind of where like the parties come in with the
yeah,
groups and the loud music and the loud talking and just kind of being too much. I have a problem
yeah.
with people being too much. But
Yeah, at Mom's other pool at her old community,
mhm,
that that was kind of an issue sometimes. People would come and they'd camp out and they'd just
yes,
stay the whole day
yes,
and bring lots of friends
yes,
and of course, I was a guest there, so I couldn't really say anything. Um,
It's kind of took over.
yeah, yeah, they would. And then the pool floats.
Oh, yeah.
And, they would just sometimes you get three or four adults on floats, and it takes up the entire little small community pool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's not being very considerate
No,
as
definitely not.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's one thing down here is nobody stays in the pool all day. You know, you might have people who hang out for a few hours, but odds are it's going to rain and rain you out, so you're going to leave anyway. But really, nobody has pool floats. Maybe
Yeah.
a noodle every now and then.
Oh, people
So
don't use rafts and floats down there?
not really, not
Oh,
really. So
that's
every now and
interesting.
then I'll take the one that we got from mom and hang out, but I'm kind of the anomaly. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Huh. That's the one thing about our pool that I wish we could do is because I would love to just go sit in a pool and just
hmm
float. And of course, I mean, that's like in July and August when it's really, really, really hot.
yes,
So if I want to do that, I go to Mother's pool at the
hmm
condo because I can
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Um, I can't do that at my pool because we don't allow floats or
No,
rafts or anything.
no,
You can
that
take a noodle in there because I guess they view that as like an exercise
yeah,
something, but
yeah. Line
I
up
don't.
like four or five of them and just kind of sling through them or use
Yeah.
the sling. That
Uh-huh.
would work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yep. One other thing is parents bringing kids when they are sick
Oh,
or right
oh,
after they've eaten. I'll,
yes.
I have been guilty on both ends of that. There were how many times did I clear the pool in our neighborhood
Oh,
because
yes. I
of
remember.
sick?
Yes.
A
Yes.
lot.
Karen Smith was the culprit of many whistles blown, and children evacuated from the old Wall Park pool.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
apologize. So, and
Yeah.
some of that you can't help. Like I won't say which child, but one of my children, every time we got in the pool, something just happened, and there's always a trip to the bathroom within 5 minutes. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know. There might be some kind of reflex that's set off, or
I think
I don't
there's
know.
a
Some.
relaxation factor
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Probably.
digestive systems that kind of just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I
ooh,
got a notification the other day that our pool was closed for the remainder of the day.
oh,
And everybody on the comments on Facebook was like, "What happened? What happened?" And they kept
well, what do you
showing.
think?
Yeah, I know. People had very interesting ways of describing it without saying it.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But thankfully, at our pool, there's two pools,
Oh, okay. That's
so
good.
I really didn't know if that's what happened because usually if something happens in one pool, they just make everybody get into the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Either you have the big like adult swim lane
Mm-hmm.
pool, or you have the more kiddie pool with the splash pad and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Which I never go in that one. I don't even know
Yeah.
what it does. Just talking about lanes, that brings me to another thing. Now I've never been a lane swimmer. I think I've maybe done that 3 times in my entire life.
Yeah.
But I see people at our pool that they are very dedicated and they come up there and they have their little flippers on or their little kickboard stuff or whatever it is, and they're up there just to swim lanes for the physical benefits of it.
Yeah. They were the ones.
Supposedly there's
Mom,
lane etiquette, but I don't know what that is. Do you know what the lane etiquette is about swimming? What is if there's more than one person in a lane and all that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I would say lap swim. Like I said, no
Hmm.
freestyle for me just because I don't know. I could run 2 miles, but swimming one lap freestyle, couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
some mechanics wasn't working, but I would do, breaststroke or something just to kind of or get the kickboard and kick down.
Hmm.
I think you can share a lane. You just have to kind of keep it like on the, stay to the right, and just kind of stay out of someone's way. But I think the preferred method is obviously don't get in someone's lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't double up unless it was so crowded that you had to.
Right. Right.
That's for
Yeah.
sure.
And I know the lap swimmers get mad when kids jump in the lane and try to like hang out and swim and
Oh, yes.
totally disrupt them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I can understand that's not a place for kids to
no,
go.
definitely not. No, I'm on that same page with them.
Yeah, most of the time, if there's going to be lanes for lap swimming, then it's a big enough pool that there's plenty of other spaces for kids to go.
Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Um, so I lost my train of thought. Um, all right, anything else we can talk about? Because I'm kind of out of material.
Yeah. What about swim lessons? What are your thoughts on swim lessons? It's especially the baby
Oh,
lessons, like the survival lessons.
oh, like when they throw a baby
Yeah.
in the water and just like go
Yes.
for it.
Yes. I
Yeah.
will tell a story. I was talking with some friends last weekend, and we are discussing this next episode. And one of the ladies who has grown children in late 20s was telling me that when her children were little, she took them to the survival swim classes, and they screamed and screamed, and I don't want to go, I don't want to go. And, but she took them. And like even when her daughter was in the back seat of someone else's car and they drove down the street where the swim lessons were, she just went into a panic. But at the age of 3 or 4, she said they were at some friend's house with a pool at dinner, and they were all walking from the pool in to eat, and they turned around and they're like, "Where is, I don't know, Cindy, whatever her name was?"
Hmm.
And everyone was like, "I don't know." All of a sudden, she's knocking on the back door, soaking wet. She had fallen in. Someone had bumped her. She fell into the pool, fully dressed, because they
A
said
3-year-old?
3 or 4, yeah.
Oh
But
my
she
gosh.
had, because what she had learned in those classes taught
Uh-huh.
her how to survive and get to the edge of the pool, climb out,
Oh,
and she was
wow.
able to save herself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because she said that one of the things they teach them is they make them get in fully clothed so they know how to like flip over,
Mm-hmm.
look for the edge, hang there until someone can, you can get someone's attention. But I guess everybody was inside eating, so she ended up
Mm-hmm.
finding the stairs or ladder and climbed out. But
Oh
she was like, "I'm
gosh.
so glad we put her in those classes."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the ones that I was thinking of are ones that are like babies. So they would be too young to remember driving down the street that, oh, that's the house where the woman threw me in the pool. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so I haven't seen survival skills for, I guess it would be toddlers at
Hmm.
that age, but
Hmm.
I did make my kids take swim lessons, both of them. I think one of them even went to like two different types of swim lessons. One was in somebody's home, and one was the group lessons at our community pool.
Hmm.
But I wonder, like you and I grew up going to camp every summer,
Yeah, yeah.
and a big part of our camp routine was taking that stupid swim test.
Yes.
And if you were not a shark or above,
Hmm.
you had to take swim lessons every
Oh,
day
I
for
took them every
30.
summer. Every summer.
Oh, I know. It was terrible. And I kept waiting. I was like, surely I'm going to get to be a good enough swimmer. But my problem is I never dove. I could not dive in a pool. And if you
That
can't dive
whole
in a
diving
pool,
board thing stunted me. Finally,
yeah.
at like maybe in middle school, I dove and I was like, "Yay! I finally don't have to take swim lessons, and I'm 13."
Oh, I don't think I ever. I think maybe the year that I went when I was, yeah, had just finished 8th grade and was about to be in high school. Maybe that year I didn't have to take swim lessons, but I think every other year I did because I refused to dive. I would not do it.
And remember having to take the shower, twirl like 2 or 3 times in that freezing cold water because usually swim lessons were like at 8 a.m. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
Having to shower.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
just,
that was miserable.
I know. And they always say shower before getting into pool, but
Yeah. But looking back on it now, I guess I'm glad I had to do that.
hmm.
Not that I mean, we've already established I'm not a super swimmer by any means,
Yeah.
but, at least I can do the breaststroke, and I could do freestyle if I had to.
You froze. Where'd you go?
But do what?
Said you'd do the breaststroke and then you froze up.
Yeah, I said, at least I could do the breaststroke and could probably do the freestyle if I had to.
Hmm.
But yeah, diving was something I never could do. And I don't think either one of my kids really mastered it either. They know the
No, I
base.
sure tried several summers at that pool trying to get those boogers in.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you did.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think everybody needs to take swim lessons, whether you're a pool regular or not, just so that
Hmm.
you're
Well,
familiar with
water
it.
safety.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. And there's all kind of places that teach them. I know YMCA, they always have classes and
Hmm.
community pools do. So if anybody
Hmm.
out there hears this, need to investigate those for your kids.
Yes,
At
definitely.
least, you know, probably 3 and up.
Hmm.
And no, my kids didn't want to do it, but I didn't give them a choice. I just said, this is what we're doing. This summer, you're going to have to learn to swim.
Yeah. Yep.
So they did it.
Yeah. Well, remember, I don't know when we were little, did you want to do swim team? I felt like I wanted to do swim team,
No,
but
because you had to get up early in the morning.
I
No
know
way I
that's what
wanted to
mom
do
was
that.
like. They're at 8 a.m. There's no way I'm getting you out of bed at 8 a.m. Like, well, can it be like at noon, so I can at least, because I feel like I'd be good at it if I actually learned the proper technique, but I never
Yeah.
did. But she was like,
No,
I do
no,
not fight that battle. And
no. I had
you're
no
right.
interest in doing that whatsoever because then you'd have to dive too, and I was not diving. So no, I would not do
Well, you
that.
can do a backstroke. You start in and start in the water.
Yeah, but I don't think you can only do backstroke for every single swim thing that you ever do. At some point,
Probably
they're going to
not.
make you dive in.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
whole diving plus 8 in the morning on the summer, no,
Mm-mm.
no way.
Not,
I was
not
not doing
happening.
that.
No.
No,
No.
no, never had any interest. And then I prayed that my kids wouldn't have interest in it either because I didn't want to get them up and take them to the pool at 8 a.m. on a summer day. And thankfully, neither one of them. They were more like me. No, no interest whatsoever.
No. Yeah. Of all the sports my kids have done, anything in water has not happened.
Yeah,
Like they've
yeah,
done everything but any water sports, which I'm okay with.
yeah.
It's all right. Did I ever tell you the story of when we were in Mexico on spring break where I had to jump in and save somebody?
You did?
Yes.
Where were
Yes.
you in college?
Yes, in college in Cancun, we it was the most fun but craziest spring break trip. So many stories from that. And we were at some beach. I don't know why, maybe because our hotel, I don't even know if I can call it a hotel. It might have been a motel for all I know. I think the whole week was like $200, including flights. So it was something ridiculous. But it was like on a marina. So we got in the water and there were pylons everywhere and like oil slicks. So I think
Oh,
maybe we went to
gross.
go find a beach. Yeah. So we were at the beach and it was pretty wild waves. And there was this couple that were out in the water, flailing their arms. So my friend Catherine and I, who I love her to death, but she has like no physical bone in her body. She and I take off running, like we always tease like the Baywatch, keep them
Oh, yeah.
running, running. So
Right,
we
yeah.
run into the water and grab them. But what was so crazy, there was like a whole row of Mexican men sitting up on like the bank, or not the bank, but like
The
a
shore.
wall, like retaining wall,
Oh,
just sitting there just watching it all happen. Like, can you come help us, please? We're 100 pounds soaking wet trying to bring in some of your um citizens into the from the ocean, but we went out there and drug them back. And
how deep was the water?
it was probably, I don't know, it was where the waves were breaking. So maybe, I don't know how deep it was, but it was probably a good 20 to 30 feet out in the water.
Uh-huh.
So everyone was just watching them. So we just took off running. And, so we always tease, keep them running, and like in slow motion
Oh,
from Baywatch. And
oh yeah. Oh,
so,
that's funny.
of all
Yeah,
my lifeguard years, that's like the only true rescue other than like just putting my hand out or having someone
wait.
grab the buoy.
You saved that kid at the pool when you were sitting there next to his or her mother. You just told
Well,
that
yeah,
story.
like I said, anytime just like grabbing someone out of the
Yeah.
water. And one thing we didn't talk about was the signs of drowning.
Oh, yeah. What are the signs of drowning? Because I don't know.
Well, it's really silent. And I know I have seen one of my son's friends whose mom was sitting right there. He was kind of drowning, and she was just like, just, kick your feet. But when your head goes underneath water and then pops back up and then goes down, it's not the waving, help me. It's not that at all. It's more
Mhm.
silent. So, it's someone whose head just kind of bobs under and comes back up. And they bob under and
Oh,
come back up. So you always have to be careful because it's not what you think it is.
Yeah, I never would have thought about that. And when you're telling that story about rescuing the Mexicans, um, we hadn't talked about beach etiquette or safety.
Yes.
And I don't know, do you remember the trip that we went on to the beach when my oldest was about 18 months
Yes.
old or so?
Oh, yes, because I was there. I was
Yeah.
in the
And
boat. Yep.
dad, yeah. So dad put him on a raft.
Mm-hmm.
No life vest, no nothing. Just this
No.
little 18-year-old kid and start going out in the water. 18
Yeah.
month old kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Going out in the water. And I was kind of watching this from the shore thinking, okay, this does not look good. I think I need to go
Mm-hmm.
assist here. And
Mm-hmm.
sure enough, a huge, huge wave came, and it is a good thing that I was there because little man got knocked off of his raft, and I was holding on to him with for dear life. And the only thing that I kept thinking was, I can't let go of him. I can't let go of him. I can't let go of him. And this, huge wave had totally made me topsy turvy, and we were up to maybe only my waist, maybe no higher than that. I know it was not deep water at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to kind of kick, and that thing about can you kick and get yourself right again. So I was trying to do that, find the ground, hold on to him. That was the most terrifying experience. And I mean, I look back on it now, I was like, we were a bunch of idiots letting him go without a life vest on. And I think
Mm-hmm.
parents now, I mean, that's been almost over 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I think parents now are more cognizant of that. And I see, little kids, even in our pool with the mom right there, they're in some kind of life vest.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you're at a lake or anything, I know kids are always suiting up with those.
Yeah. Yeah. Our
But at the
kids
beach,
always.
when you're just sitting on the shore and you're playing in the sand and you don't think, oh, I need a vest on, and then dad being the ultimate boomer is like, oh, nothing's gonna happen to anybody. Um,
Yeah.
Grabbing him and taking him out in that raft or float or whatever. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
really could have been disastrous.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. We have beaches near us, which, like I said, I'm not really a beach person just because I don't like the sand, and then you have to haul all the stuff, and then someone's like, "Let's go to the pool," and you're like, "I got to drag all the stuff back up," but I I don't like getting in the water. I have a healthy respect for the animals that live in the ocean, and I don't need to be in there with them. I'll be on a boat on top. I'm totally fine with that. But,
Oh,
maybe
so you'll let the propeller chop them up, but you won't get in there and swim with them?
no, 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 no. I do not. No, I don't.
Uh,
I don't get in the water. Occasionally, we'll snorkel. That maybe 2 minutes. If I see something that might want me for dinner, I'm out. Um, but yeah, I mean, up to the knees is plenty. You don't need to really swim. Most places have a pool. It's just dangerous. Currents, you just
yeah.
never know what the currents are going to do. And I just hear too many stories, um, and it just
Mhm.
scares the living daylights out of me. So,
Yeah. I love to get on a raft in the ocean and just float. And, you'll end up 400 yards from where you started, or 100 yards from where you started.
hmm
Um, but I wish that, like, I could have a float on a tether that's
anchored,
anchored,
yes.
anchored back to the
hmm
shore so that you can just kind of drift and float in this
hmm
one little area and not get taken so far down
Yeah.
or out, either way.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I like to enjoy the ocean water is getting in on a raft. Or really my favorite thing is drag my chair right down to the edge of the water and let it
hmm
kind of lap up on me there.
hmm
While I'm reading a book or whatever. That's the ultimate relaxation day for me is enjoying the water that way. All right. Well, anything else we did not cover?
Yes, I
Beach
just
or
lost my train of thought. What was that? Shoot, it was about the beach. Oh crap, what was it?
mm.
What were you saying right before all that?
Oh, it was about Dad trying to drown Dawson. Told that story.
Oh, sunscreen.
Oh,
Yes.
So let's, the final thing before we go, let's talk about sunscreen a little bit. What do you have thoughts on that?
Yes. Another thing about being polite and disrespectful is people just obliviously spraying sunscreen everywhere.
Oh, I know. I hate that.
Like the first thing is spray sunscreen is really your second application. It shouldn't be your first. Never on the face. Really, kids shouldn't have it anyway. So, I mean, but if you're going to spray sunscreen, like if I'm going out for a little bit and I'm like, I'm not going to be here very long, like I'll just like spray a bunch of it on my arm and then rub it in. Not just spray like it's hairspray or perfume because
Yeah, but
it's,
what's the point of having a spray if you have to rub it in? Why not just have the lotion? I never have understood that.
well, because I don't think it covers. It's just like hairspray. It's not, it's like you may spray out 100 particles, but only about 20 are going to get on you. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just a made up math.
I know, but I
And it
don't
sprays
understand
everywhere,
why.
smell everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if you're going to have to do that, and I'd rather just use the lotion to start with
Yeah. And I
instead
get
of using.
that, but it's just I can't stand going somewhere and just all of a sudden walking into and having to taste sunscreen. And I
Yeah,
just don't think
yeah,
it works as well. And like if you're doing your face, which you never should do your face, you should always use some sort of cream, or especially with kids, just get the sun stick. That's so much easier and it stays for a long time until you wash it off. But
you
like your
have to rub that
sunscreen,
stuff in too.
no, no, just the like the wipe, the little almost like a deodorant stick, but it's
Yeah,
sunscreen
yeah,
stick. Yeah, and I'll put it on their shoulders. I mean, not anymore
uh,
because they're grown.
yeah,
But like if you're using it on your kid's face, don't spray it because it's just not. I just don't think it's good for you. I think it's got too many chemicals. But at least spray it in your hand and then put it on your face if you're gonna
hmm,
just use spray. Because I still just don't think you're covering yourself with the spray.
yeah.
That's why it's secondary, kind of like a second application, is the spray.
We always try to put sunscreen on if we're going to spray. Do it before you get to the pool or the beach when you're
Not in
not
front of it.
when you're not sweaty
Mm-hmm.
and there's not people around,
Mm-hmm.
and go ahead and apply it early. But
Yeah.
I have whole different thoughts on sunscreen nowadays, so don't get me
Yeah.
started on that. Um,
I just go out for a little bit, get my vitamin D, get in the shade, and then rinse and repeat.
yeah, yeah, probably the healthiest way to do it anyway.
Yep. So,
All righty, well, we have covered lots and lots of territory. Hope this has been beneficial. Anybody that's listening, please be considerate and, of course, safe around water in a pool. Too many bad things can happen,
yes.
and we don't want that. We want to be safe and have an enjoyable summer.
Yeah. Keep your eyeballs on your children, please. Or else you may
Yes.
hear from us. We'll be the mom that speaks up.
The mean pool lady, that's me.
Bean pool lady, yes.
Yeah.
I can
So,
do it.
all righty.
All
Thanks.
right.